Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us for our third episode of our Impossible Landscapes journey. Tonight's episode, Into Darker Places, or something like that. Um,
That's the
welcome
title
back.
you gave me. So
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, I don't even remember what I told him. We are. Um, Lost my thought. Episode 3. We're doing the thing. Right.
we're still
Last
we're still
I was
investigating
about
the
to do a
darkness.
recap. Yeah, that's right. I was about to do a recap of what we did last week. And then I remembered, right, this is a horror thing, so I should probably give the talk. So reminding everyone, this is a surreal horror story. Yeah, and as silly as this group tends to be, it still might be disturbing for you. So be aware there might be something that throws you off, and no shame if you have to stop watching. You can always come back and try again. And for the players, if something gets too squiggy, throw the X. We'll pause and regroup and go. Oh, see, already look at that.
I'm scared.
Joke's on you, I've been scared
Right.
since the
So
start.
before we get started, our final member of the group has finally made it. Alan had some important work to do over the last couple of episodes, but he has made it in. So if you would please give us a quick rundown of Agent Grimshaw, who is at this moment meeting with Agent Marcus over in the park and getting briefed.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, Grimshaw is built like a fridge. He's just this broad-shouldered, huge man who tries his best to be inconspicuous, but is usually the tends to be the tallest in the room or the widest in the room, and spends most of his days wanting to be outdoors, and has that like the coloring of someone who is almost always outdoors, in terms of you can see like the sun has hit certain parts of his body, and if you ever see him with just like a sleeveless shirt on, he has the tan lines, the real crisp tan lines of someone who, and you're like, is his skin actually that dark, or is he just covered in dust and dirt from landscaping? But is very much fits in with being a soldier, and is no, he's. I mean, Grimshaw is a simple man, and he's not. I mean, he's not an idiot, but he's like he's like, if you need it moved, or you need it put somewhere, or you need me to pick it up, or you need me to dig a hole, I'm your guy. That's me.
Sounds good. All right. Well, let's do a quick recap of our other members. Tom, you want to go ahead and tell us about Agent Gourmet?
Sure.
Briefly?
Agent Gourmet is a man about his 30s. He is an absolute fitness nut, probably as skinny as Grimshaw is big, is very, very stuck on details. That's probably why the initial investigation is taking so damn long, because he is just stopping to check everything. And he had a couple of the items that they had recovered from the apartment. He took them back to the hotel with him, and brought them back. Yeah, one of them, his precious, and is probably still a little puzzled as to what they're looking for. So he's probably being quieter than normal, which is not much, because he doesn't really talk much to begin with. So, but I'm just babbling, so I'm going to stop and pass it on to someone else.
Absolutely. All right, Mouse. A little bit about Greeby for the viewers.
Yeah. Greeby is young. She's 24 years old. Sort of small, petite, blonde, Russian woman. And all that you would know about her is that she lives in her van and works in a restaurant in the kitchen and she's very paranoid and always looking over her shoulder. And anytime they go anywhere, she's the one that shows up first, so she can case the joint hours in advance. So, yeah, she's convinced that someone is after her, and is always on alert.
Sounds good. All right. Finally, Minty. How's Gaucher this morning?
Gaucher is not looking too hot because, as we mentioned end of last session, everyone had a so horrible night's sleep. So you just have this 5'3" Eastern European looking individual just looking like they want to jump off the building, but pulling it together because they have a job to do and they have people to not interrogate, to converse with.
Right. All right. So then it is early Friday morning. You all showed up for a reasonably early start. You found Gourmet sitting on the floor outside the apartment door, I believe with some donuts. You've all had a shitty night's sleep, except for Grimshaw. And you kind of grab a donut, shuffle in, start getting things organized. And probably about half an hour after you start working, you hear some heavy footfalls in the hallway outside of the apartment. Now, do you have the door to the apartment open or closed?
Closed.
Closed. All right. So then you'll hear the footfalls coming up to the closed door. And
Greeby has her hand on her gun.
Yeah, Gourmet will maybe just gesture to her to get to the door and maybe listen or something.
She's ready.
all right, Grimshaw, take it away. How do you approach the door to this room? Oh, I should describe to you. You haven't technically been here before. So this building is sort of like a brownstone, but I think it's actually detached from the buildings to the side of it. So rather than like a typical brownstone, and it is sort of weirdly decorated, not exactly ugly or gaudy, but just it's sort of made to look like a castle, and it's like an obviously fake castle. It's 3 stories high. There's some crenellations on the top. There's like sort of that Baroque castle-y kind of stonework that's obviously not stone. It looks like it's some other. It's a fairly old building, so it's not like it's made of plastic or something like that. But but it's made to look like a sort of like a mini stone castle. You've got the entryway on the right side of the building as you face it from the street has a short flight of stairs up to the door, and then like to the left of that is a short flight of stairs down into a recessed area, almost like a moat that leads to a basement door. A pretty typical sort of setup for city life in the northeast of the U.S. So as you go in through the main door, oh wait, how did you get the key to the door?
How did I get the key to the door?
They have the key.
Does it have the classic doorbell?
Right. What it does have is one of those
green sleeves when you push it.
Yeah, it's got one of those buzzer panels where it's like 1A, 1B, 1C. Well, there's no 1B. 1A, 1C, 1D, 2A, 2B, 2C, 2D, and you can buzz the apartment that goes to. So yeah, you come up to the main entrance, find out that it's locked, and then are basically faced with the buzzer panel. So let's retcon that. You don't hear heavy footfalls outside the door. I assume hear someone buzzing from the outside.
It makes Greeby jump.
Eh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Eh.
Are we expecting company?
No.
No?
I
We're not
suppose we ought to
expecting
answer
company?
it.
No, you're not.
Shall I?
Not really. As of yesterday, when you met with Agent Marcus, no one knew where Grimshaw was, and so Marcus was going to take care of that. So as far as you know, you're not really expecting anyone. You're not expecting anyone, but
Gourmet will go over and answer it and just say, yes.
Marcus didn't say the door was going to be locked, so.
Who's Marcus?
What do you mean, who's Marcus? It's. Wait, is this why I come for the? What were you supposed to go on a tour of the park? Talk about the vacation?
Oh, you're the guy about the park. You have that little corgi?
Wait, do I have a corgi? Wait a minute.
I don't know where's this coming from.
Yeah, I'm
Gourmet's
like,
absolutely fucking with him.
yeah, I'm like, this is I
So
am-
Grimshaw, you think you recognize the voice that you're talking
right.
to?
Yeah, I'm like,
You do know these
I'm-
guys, but you haven't worked
Yeah,
with them
yeah,
that
yeah.
often. So maybe
That
it
often.
could be someone
yeah,
else.
I'm like, well, I'm sorry, so you got me a little confused. Wait, am I supposed to have the corgi, or do you have it?
I was told there was someone who's going to be walking a corgi we're going to talk to in the park.
Look at it. I'm looking at Gaucher, and I'm like,
Hold on.
I'm like,
Let me hold on a second. Opens the door for him.
what are you doing, Gourmet?
yeah, Grimshaw is gonna like very slowly open the main door
Okay.
and just like get his fist ready to if someone's gonna jump out. He's like, "What the hell is going on?"
So the main door
Maybe-
lets into a little foyer where there's some mailboxes on the side of the wall. Again, labeled for each of the different apartments. There's like junk mail on the floor in the hall. It's not very well kept up. Pizza flyers, takeout flyers have like been shoved under the door and stuff. It looks like no one's really cleaned up in here too much. As you walk down through the little foyer,
Oh yeah, I'll grab one of the little like pizza flyers and look at it and be like, "What the?" And as I hit up the,
it's a lived-in place.
Upstairs?
It looks like it's not very well kept.
Yeah, sure.
As you go down the hall, I mean, it's just like 10 feet long, and then it kind of jogs to the left real quick, and then makes another turn to the right, and there's a central hallway down the center of the building. At the end of the short foyer is it's one of those old telephone closets where you like go in and sit and talk, like when they used to have communal telephones for buildings. Right now it's storage. There's like mop and a broom and boxes and stuff piled in there. But just as you take that left turn, directly ahead of you is the door to apartment 1A, which is where you are headed from your talk with Marcus. And in the chat in Roll20, I whispered to you a message Marcus gave you to give to the group.
Great, because I was just about to ask if there was.
Gravy, could you now? Do we hear the footsteps?
Now you hear the footsteps coming toward the door.
Okay. So Gravy, if you have your gun and you want to go over to the door, you can.
Well, who did you just let in?
We'll find out.
What did you mean we'll find out? What is wrong with you?
Was this message that Marcus gave Grimshaw, was this am I supposed to give this message to the team once I'm there?
Yeah.
Or is this like the code phrase to get
It's not.
into the door?
Yeah, he didn't give the impression it was a code phrase. It was like, hey, tell them this.
Tell them this? Yeah, okay, great. Yeah, great. Okay. Sweet. So Grimshaw's just gonna stride up to the door and like knock on the door, and then he's got the little pizza flyer, the little pizza place flyer. He's gonna scribble the Delta Green triangle on and slide it under the door, and just be like, pizza delivery.
Gaucher will motion for Greeby to maybe take up an ambush spot in case this goes south.
Okay.
And we'll wait until they're in spot to open the door.
All right, who's opening the door?
I guess Gourmet
Gotcha.
will go over.
Are you opening the door?
Yeah. Gourmet will go over and just actually puts his hand on the knob and goes. So what kind of toppings are on the pizza?
Well, it says here somebody ordered a large knuckle sandwich.
He unlocks it, opens it up. Good to see you.
Yeah, you too. Wait, was I supposed to have a corgi? Is that?
No,
Did
I
I
was
miss
just,
something? Did I?
no, I
miss
was just
something?
fucking with you.
You just fucking with me? God
Yeah,
damn.
yeah.
Right.
Alright.
It's like, yeah, Grimshaw will like, yeah, Grimshaw. I mean, to be fair, I think Grimshaw is actually the baby of the group. I think he's only 23.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he still has to like stoop to get in the doorway.
Right?
And gets in and is like sees Gaucher and Gribby and is like,
Yeah.
"Aw."
Well,
All right.
as you start to step in and you duck down, I would like to remind the rest of the group, and maybe if Tom, you could share my screen here. Yesterday, you found this really interesting sign that you think would be great to show to Grimshaw as soon as he comes in.
Okay. Yeah, once the door is shut and everybody seems cool, you'll kind of just give them a brief rundown of kind of what we're looking at, what we're kind of taking off the walls, and that one of the items that we found was this.
Oh, okay.
And you show him the sign?
Mhm.
Okay. So I'll put that back up then, if you or you can find it. It's the
Yeah, I got
thing in Wright's apartment labeled strange symbol. So this was a strange symbol that they found yesterday that they determined was not an occult symbol that they recognized at all. So some other sort of sigil. And when he shows it to you, I need to read the instructions real quick. Don't share because I'm looking at the GM info.
Yeah, no, it's all right.
I need you to make a sanity check. Yes.
Oh, cool.
So
Just
good
walk in
morning.
the door.
Yeah. Just looking at this thing.
What did we get there? Oh, a critical
A critical.
success.
sorry.
Nice. Yeah, it's an
yes.
interesting looking symbol. You haven't seen it before. Yeah, I mean, soon as he takes it away, it's just sort of like out of sight, out of mind. You don't really, remember. Oh, I saw a symbol, but I don't know what they're going on about. Why it's so weird. It's just a symbol, some art person
Sure.
drew.
Was that all over the place, all over the apartment, or was it just on this?
Just the one.
Oh.
There's
Okay.
been all sorts of odd things. There's been some music, some poetry, we think.
Uh-huh.
A
There's this weird radio that we
mhm.
found and tried to communicate through, but can't really make out. Like, we can kind of hear maybe some sort of voices, but we can't really make anything out.
Huh.
Yeah, that's off in the bedroom.
Well, the really crazy stuff is probably for Gaucher to relay in terms of the interview that he had with her neighbor.
Gaucher will hand over the copy of the play for Grimshaw to read as they relay the synopsis.
Mm-hmm.
For those watching at home, that's this thing.
Behold. I don't know which way to gesture. Behold.
And the interesting thing about the play is that it seems to be referential to people in the building.
And Gaucher goes on, when I discussed this with the neighbor of their version of events, if they'd seen Miss Wright at all since her disappearance, they seemed to directly reference aspects of this without having access to it, as if it were automatic fact rather than this fictional work.
Sure. Do we know who wrote this play?
Inconclusive results. It could be anywhere in the last decade or even longer. It hasn't started to yellow, but that's the widest range we can narrow.
And it was just like stuck to the wall under some other paperwork when they found it. Like pretty much everything else that they found.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I guess the highlights of the interview with the neighbor would be that she supposedly just moved upstairs to the 6th floor. There's only 3 floors to this building. She supposedly fell in love with some no-count salesman who just started showing up and seemed to have always been here. And he took Gaucher down to his basement where his art studio is kept. Showed him some paintings, but kept raving about the one that was his great work, which was actually just a blank white canvas. But he referred to it as the one that might get him upstairs.
Right. This.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, this. This sounds to me like this guy's insane. But okay.
He
All
could
right.
be a suspect or a victim. I prefer we treat him as both.
Yeah, because so many things about that story don't make any kind of sense.
Yeah.
So,
we did go up to the roof. We did look around. We didn't
Oh.
we didn't find anything up there. So we've just been cataloging and going through all the stuff in the apartment.
Would it be worth doing some research at a library, perhaps on occult symbols?
Oh, show him the weird thing that might be music. We're not sure.
Yeah.
And that's this to remind everyone.
We had a lot of clues last session, y'all.
Yeah.
And I believe you sang this into the radio.
We did.
I did. Yeah.
In Swedish, Russian, and I think we another language just for shits and giggles to see if it would get any reactions.
Did we do Spanish, or did we just joke about nobody knows?
I think we joked about Spanish.
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't think anybody knew Spanish, so I think we just did English, Russian, and Swiss.
Gourmet knows some, but not But we were hoping maybe it was like a mnemonic or something, or something that might trigger something maybe on whoever is on the other side of the radio, because we're hearing occasional words.
Here, and actually, you look at it because we're pretty sure it's like an old military backpack like radio.
Yeah.
Yeah, you take him into the back room, and you can put the chair back on.
Okay.
And yes, you certainly recognize this as an what is it called? As an SRC 300 military radio backpack from World War II. It was the Allies used.
That's a classic SR 300 military backpack that the Allies used in World War II.
Yeah.
Of course.
How could we have not known?
SCR. Sorry, I said it back. SCR 300.
SC300, SCR300, they're interchangeable. It depends on whether you're in the Northern Campaign. Anyway,
You thought that military what's the name of the skill? Military science, yeah, skill wouldn't be useful.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Was this radio set to a specific frequency or band or anything, or what was it looking at?
It was just glued to the wall here.
As it still is.
Yeah, and then I played with it for about an hour or so. Trying different frequencies and just like, talking into it. And like I said, I kind of hear voices, but I couldn't make anything out. And
Yeah, sure. Is it running? Is it running now? Can I?
Yeah.
Listen to it.
Yeah, it's turned off. They turned it off last time they used it, but you can flick it on real quick. The battery seems to still be charged.
Yeah, I'll flick it on and have a listen. See if I
Yeah.
hear anything.
What you hear is mostly static, and then as you sweep through the frequencies, you'll get that sort of whine that you get when you sweep old radios through frequencies.
Yeah.
And then occasionally you'll pick up, like, just on the edge of hearing, you might hear like a male voice saying a single word. Satellite, or just stuff that doesn't seem to hot dog. Could be anything. It sounds like it could be like a code, or it could just be you're getting one sentence, one word from a sentence, and it's dropping out. And if you try to like go back to that frequency and catch the word, then it's just static. So you can't seem to like home in on any particular thing, at least not within with a few minutes of playing with it. If you want to play longer, then just let me know.
Yeah. That that sheet of music, right? Like I don't read music too good. So what are those? It looks like those are the notes on a scale, right? What are those notes? Are they saying anything?
I did try to figure that out, but I don't think any of us know music. Any of our characters know music?
No, but that is something you could do at the library. You could grab a rudimentary book on music and figure out the A B C D E F G, which is which.
Yeah. So I the person mouse tried to figure it out, but
so yeah, put that on the list of things you want to look up at the library.
Yeah.
Assuming that you don't think that because it's only ABC. It was 8 letters, right? So it's unlikely that it will spell something, but it might.
It didn't seem to spell anything when I tried to figure it out, but yeah, I could just be. And also, I think they were 2 different scales, and I wasn't sure which one it was. There's
bass or treble clef.
Yeah, because there's no indication on it whether it's So.
Oh right, yeah, it's not indicated what. And that makes a difference because that shifts things, if I remember correctly. But anyway, so you can,
yeah. I mean, all of you're saying all of this, and Grimshaw's like, yup.
Sure.
Smile and nod. Smile and nod.
You definitely find that book at the library.
Yeah.
We definitely sort of need to figure out, like, we've got all this cataloging of stuff on the walls we have to do. We should probably maybe interview some additional neighbors. We should probably do some research on this musical thing and the weird symbol that makes us all feel funny.
I think the symbol's going to be the hardest thing to research because that's.
Yeah, well, I mean, where would you even start with that?
Right. Exactly. I mean, it's
interestingly, Gourmet, after you show Grimshaw the symbol, you feel satisfied and a bit like there's a weight off your shoulder. You don't feel quite as exhausted as you did earlier.
Interesting.
Um,
The player has many ideas, but we
If I,
it's not sure.
yeah, if Grimshaw tries to think back to the symbol, can he recall it? And like, can I recall it, or am I like, oh, what
not
was
really.
it?
I mean, you just remember it's
Yeah.
like some squiggly mark. You'd have to
Yeah,
go look
sure.
at it again if you wanted to.
Gotcha.
Especially with that critical, you are completely unaffected by
One.
the symbol.
Yeah.
First roll, 1.
One.
I don't think Greeby was affected by it much either, actually.
Yeah, I don't remember. I just remembered you all.
I have the feeling it's one of those things you don't want to roll well to,
No.
to understand it.
Critical. I don't,
Yeah.
yeah, just going from memory though, I have to check my notes. But I thought everyone failed their sanity roll on that and was interested in sharing, but maybe not.
But
So yeah, how do you want to tackle the day? You want to talk to other tenants, maybe follow up with Thomas Manuel, who you talked to already, possibly go to the library and definitely do some more work in this room.
Well, that's what I was going to ask is there anything we want to continue trying to take off the walls before we kind of leave for a while? Because there might be more there.
Yeah, and there's 4 of you, so you can always split up. One person can work on the room, and go off and do other things. However you want to deal with that, or you can just ignore it and come back to it later. However you want to do it. The deal with the shifts is when they first came in, Gaucher kind of like took a look around the room, did their magic bureaucracy calculation and said, this is going to take us like at least 4 days. And then that's like in shifts of 4 hours, take a break 4 hours, and then quit for the night. You could of course go faster if you did some night shifts, but the less you work on it, the longer it's going to take. And then presumably there'll be pressure from outside, like what's taking so long.
Just like every job. So
yeah.
So maybe 2 of us should stay and keep cataloging things, and then
that sounds fair.
the other 2 could either pair up and do some interviews, or go to the library, or split up, depending on. I mean, I just personally don't want to be here in this creepy room by myself.
Gourmet will stay.
Okay.
He's interested that there might be more to find. He really is interested in that symbol, but kind of in the back of his mind, he's like, there might be more, and you want to be there to see it.
Gaucher will offer to be one of the pair that goes out for the first shift. We can either try and see if there's a correlation between the rest of the neighbors and the individuals mentioned in this play, or we could head over to the library, do research on the music notes, and also see if this building has been featured historically in newspaper clippings or any other articles throughout the years. I'm interested to know if there's any history in the building.
Right. And in addition to the library, if you're investigating the building, then of course, City Hall or whatever the city place that has the records. You can go there.
Yeah.
Everything's either easily within walking distance or easily within public transportation distance. So you don't have to worry too much about that.
You'll have a higher chance of success researching those items than, and just kind of pats his pocket where the symbol was, than odd shapes.
Noted. Grimshaw?
Okay. Not weird at all, or May.
He looks everything.
Yeah. Grimshaw's like, so
I'm just stating the facts.
So yeah,
So,
Grimshaw,
like-
I'm fine either way. So do you have a preference?
no, look, if you don't want to, it depends. Like if you're not feeling comfortable staying here, I can stay here with Gourmet. That's fine. But also, if you want me to go and talk to people, I can talk to people. But
I can stay
could-
if you want to go talk to people. I could. I just didn't want to be here alone in this room. I didn't think any. Actually, don't think anybody should be left alone in this room.
Mm.
Not at all. All right. Do you want to partner up with interviews, or would you like to pursue something on your own?
I might go and check out what the history of this building is. Go down and
Alright.
see. I mean, it's not often you see a lot of fake castles in this part of the neighborhood. So,
Just a note. Be careful, and I understand the context of this is not too informative, but if you see anyone dressed in clown garb, be careful.
clowns. Oh, geez, I hate clowns.
Yeah, I mean nobody likes clowns. What? Gaucher?
No, clowns and mimes. You can't trust them.
Mimes are fine. Clowns are just...
We haven't found any clown stuff in here.
discussion for later in private.
Sure.
Mindy, can you pull your mic a bit closer? I'm having trouble hearing you.
Right. Sorry about that.
Is the background music too loud?
I can't hear it.
You can't? Okay. All right, just making sure.
Nah, I just have a bad habit of leaning away from the mic.
Okay.
I do too. I'll like turn over here and start talking to the wall and forget that I have a
Let me also turn my gain up just a little bit.
Yeah,
There we go.
let me go see if there's any history on this building and try and
Alright,
find a music book or something. Oh, before I go, also, I was supposed to give you a message from Marcus. He says, and you're like, I'll pull out like a little piece of paper. Like, what'd he say? He says, you need to work on your unsecure line code speak, but I'll meet you at the fountain at 6:30 this evening.
They need to work on their code words.
Yeah. I mean, we've already established corgi as a code word, so that's good.
I think that's something just the four of us should share.
Okay.
That's our secret. That's our secret. G cell.
yeah. Organ.
I suppose I could have chosen Greyhound instead.
Corgi.
Yeah. We're leaning into that second syllable.
Yeah. Do you all share the contents of the satchel that the Operation Alice satchel that you were given?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So Marcus had
Right.
given them yesterday credentials for everyone, so they'll have to give you your FBI credentials. You are official.
Am I one of the
Liaison.
advisors?
Yeah, you're one of the official advisors. So you've got some, a little card, a stack of cash to help defray expenses, keys to the building, but there's only like one key to the building and one key to the apartment. So I assume Gourmet has that because he seems the sort.
Yeah.
Right next to his
There are a few
precious.
others. You can look through the thing, but that's where the case file is and the missing persons are.
Yeah, great.
All that kind of stuff. So that you can find a place to stay for the day. I don't know what your plans are, but Gourmet is just a couple blocks over at a hotel that you can either get a room in, or if they're booked up, probably crash on his floor or something like that. So we can worry about that later tonight, unless it's something you want to worry about now. Otherwise, Grimshaw is going to go off to search city records for info on the building. Gaucher is going to interview people in the building.
Yep.
And Greeby and Gourmet are going to stay in the room and do some stuff. All right, so we'll get back to Greeby and Gourmet and what they may find in the first shift in a little bit. Let's go ahead and do Grimshaw going to do some research. You don't have any architecture skill, do you, right? Bureaucracy.
Yeah.
So make a bureaucracy check to like navigate the dealing with people at City Hall or wherever it is the records are.
Oh, sweet. Hey, look at that. Success.
Hey, success. Excellent. All right.
Yeah, I think
so-
Grimshaw is very much leaning into the like military training understanding of how hierarchies and responsibilities work, you know.
Right.
So there's lots of like, pardon me, ma'am, if if I may, I'd like to look for this, and being very very respectful of the bureaucracy.
Right. Yeah. And like, how's your day? You know, it must suck to be stuck down here in the basement. And,
Yeah, really trying to build that rapport. Of like,
all right. Yeah. So what you find out, first off, from your first attempt, is you get the original building permit. It's from the 27th of May, 1921. It was originally the private residence for Henry M. Lundine. And it was built in the classic brownstone style. Classic. But it was refitted as an apartment building in 53. And the records list the architect as A. Darabondi, Darabondi.
Say that again. D-A-R.
Darabondi.
Yo, Darabondi.
Yeah. So that's like the first superficial thing that she manages to pull up. If you want to try to get more, she says she could maybe try to hunt up some of the old blueprints or something, but there's a fee for that if you want a copy. And that'll take me a little bit of time to go and dig up.
yes, please, if you could. I mean, I can. How much is the fee?
Oh, it's $200 for photocopies of everything.
If I don't want a copy though, if I just want to peruse the files and look at those prints, is there a fee for that?
Yeah, no cost for that if you just want to look at things. Then you can decide if you want copies afterwards.
Oh yes, please. That'd be great. That'd be helpful.
All right, yeah. Give me at least half an hour. I'm gonna have to dig into some deep holes.
Sure.
All right.
That's
Meanwhile,
I can wait. It's all right.
okay, yeah. There's like a little seating area there where you can sit on a crunchy old vinyl chair. A couple of magazines that are about 4 years old.
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much. And he'll just like perch himself down on this, what is essentially a child's school seat. With this, just that, he's got massive shoulders and he has like the high and tight. Like it's like, oh my goodness. If he wasn't so obviously a soldier, you'd be like, that man is some sort of unit.
All right. So you're going to stay there for the whole time that she's gone?
Yeah, I think it's about half an hour or so. If the library's not close enough to get to the library to find a book on music in that time, he'll just wait.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to mention that the building is currently owned by a company called Art Life.
Okay.
One word.
Owned by Art Life.
Yeah. Which you can find more information about if you do some search, but that was just like the current owner of the building listed. Okay, yeah, I'm just trying to find some handouts for stuff that you will get when she comes back. Where? Yeah. All right, so she'll come back after about 40 minutes. Took her a little bit longer, but she managed to dig up the blueprints of the place, and you can sort of ignore where it's marked Abigail Wright's apartment, because obviously that wouldn't have been marked. But you can see how the apartments are sort of laid out, and you can recognize Abigail's apartment because you were there. Right around here, a couple other apartments in the back. Pretty simple, set up, long, narrow building. Nothing really odd about it. The one weird thing that you do find, along with the, just stacks of normal paperwork that kind of go along with it, receipts and this, that, and the other, and permits, is a note on some hotel stationery that says, "I saw the rooms tonight at dusk," with no indication of why it was paperclipped to the rest of the file. But she says this was everything that was together. I keep doing it. I'm in the StreamYard window trying to click on things.
Oh, okay. I saw the rooms tonight at dusk. Interesting.
Yeah, so I will share that with everybody, so you can re-access it later. But yeah, so you have saw the blueprints. And
looking at the blueprints, that looks very standard for what I would assume.
Yeah. The architecture style is a little odd, as you've already discovered from being there. But other than that, the internal structures, everything looks, like you might expect from something built in 1921.
Yeah, gotcha.
As far as you probably have some construction familiarity, just from your work with the Army. I know you mostly do landscaping and stuff, but you also, you get to do whatever they tell you to do. So you probably have a little bit of construction experience, and
a little bit,
nothing jumps out at you like hidden secret passages or things that have been boarded over. From what you saw, everything looks pretty kosher. Did you want to go ahead and get a copy, or
do I have $200 to get a copy?
Yeah, the money that you were left was, of course, you can just use your own money, but you've got, I forgot what it was. I think it was $1,000 each. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
For operating.
Yeah,
money.
then I will get a copy just to take back to the rest of the team.
Right, yeah, so she'll make you photocopies of the blueprints, all the other paperwork that goes with it, and that hotel stationery. And then,
nice. Did she give me her name?
Susie.
Okay.
Susie Quackenbush.
Susie Quackenbush. Gotcha. Okay. Radio. So Grimshaw will get the photocopies and head out and just be like, "Thank you very much, Miss Quackenbush. You've been very helpful. Thank you."
Oh, no problem. Anytime. That's my job. I'll look up anything you want, as long as you're willing to pay. All right. So it took you half hour to get over here. You spent 40 minutes, fit into an hour between getting stuff. Take you another about half an hour to get back. There might be. All right, so you're off doing that. While you're out, let me know if there's any other places you want to go look for any other thing. Otherwise, I'll assume you're just going to head back to the
just the library to find a book on sheet music for dummies.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll get back to that in a bit. There is actually a library not too far from the McAllister building. The what was it? Epiphany Library, I think it was.
The Epiphany Library. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. We'll go with that. I think that's where they went. Where the team actually has had gone to look something else up. So you can find that with, let's see, it's 1995. You can't just whip out your smartphone and use Google Maps. I mean, there is MapQuest, but you'd have to go to the library to get to the computer to look up MapQuest. So
Yeah.
has Grimshaw been to?
I'll ask like 5 people and get 4 really abrasive no's before I get 1 yes.
Yeah,
Just 4 people being like, "What do I fucking look like? A street map? Fuck you."
right. And the one guy who gives you directions points you in the wrong direction.
Yeah. Yeah. So it'll take me a while.
Someone will eventually take pity on you. All right. So then while you're wandering around doing that, Goshe, you are going to talk to other people. Who did you want to speak to first? There is a third apartment on the first floor, which you haven't checked on yet. And there's 4 apartments on the second and the second and third floor.
They'll
you want to just
start
knock
on
on doors or do some sort of other investigating stuff.
Is there, like, by the mailboxes, is there, like, a list of, like, here's who's in each apartment and here's their mailbox to kind of, like,
Yes.
figure out some names?
Yes,
They were on the
there-
blueprints, but yeah, that wouldn't help you now.
Well, they ain't got the blueprints yet.
Yeah.
Sadly, telepathy
and
is
that-
very weak.
that
in the
information is not
90s.
actually on the blueprint, right? That's
Oh.
sort of, right. Blueprints don't
But-
have from 1921 aren't going to have the names of people from now. That's there because that is an asset in the book that the GM would be able to see.
Oh, okay.
But they're actually going to look first, and they're going to see if the names on these mailboxes match up to the names on this piece of play paper.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So you see A1. It has A period right. Or so not A1. 1A. 1C is T Manuel, and 1D is Roger or R Karen, Carun. Looks like there's someone living in 2A upstairs, L post. 2C seems to be empty. 2B is an M Van Fitz, Vanfitz. And all the other rooms seem to be empty. So 2 more people upstairs, 1 more person down on the first floor.
They'll go with the first floor first and knock on the door.
All right. Let me move over to Mr. Karen's page. All right. So knock on the door. Right. And you'll hear, "Just a minute." And about a minute and a half, someone gets to the door, pulls the door open, just to the point where, like the chain is stopping it, peeks out and says, "Yes, can I help you?" And, it's a Caucasian man, looks like mid-40s, wearing like a button-up white shirt, collar undone, and a cardigan, brown. Just,
Sorry to bother you this morning. I'm actually with the team investigating the incident next door. I was actually wondering if you had time for me to ask you some questions.
There was an incident next door?
Miss Abigail Wright, she's been missing for several months now.
Oh. Right. Yes, the police talked about that. I've already spoken to the police. Are you with the police?
I'm an associate working with the FBI on specifically this type of cold case. We're hoping to bring some closure or see if there's anything fresh eyes can't bring to the table.
Oh, sure. I don't know. I mean, it's been a while since they talked to me. Yeah. Hang on a sec. And he closes the door, and you hear the chain come off, and he opens it up. Come on in. I'm Roger.
I'm Agent Green. Pleasure to meet you.
You said what now?
I'm Agent Green. Pleasure to meet you.
Oh, you too. Yeah, come on in, Agent Green. Right. Yeah, I mean, I didn't know Miss Wright well. Abigail, I think, was her name. We say hi, coming in and out, that kind of stuff. Occasionally, I'd see her when we would have like building gatherings and stuff. There's not many people living here, so we would occasionally just, get together.
I understand.
Um,
Now, I am going to ask you a series of questions that might seem basic. You might have already answered them, and I do apologize if they seem redundant, but any bit of information that I can glean is important to this mission.
okay. Yeah.
So, you say you didn't know Miss Wright very well, besides the building gatherings. Were those the only times you saw her?
Yeah. I mean, like New Year's Eve parties, we tend to have one every year. She got a little rowdy last year, but pretty much we get along or got along. Other than that,
Is she very much a party individual?
was she a party individual?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she was never really loud or anything down the hall. I mean, most of the time you forget she was there.
And can you tell me about... I forgot his name, don't mind me. Can you tell me about some of your other neighbors, such as Thomas Manuel?
Yeah, Tommy and I get on pretty good. He's a nice kid.
He's an artist, correct? Works in the basement?
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, everybody in here is an artist of some sort. I'm a writer myself. Tommy's a painter. I see his paintings every now. I haven't seen much of his recent work though. Tends to do most of his work at night. And I tend to stay home at night, so I don't go bother him or anything.
Very understandable. Are you a playwright, perchance?
No, novelist.
Ah,
Perhaps you're familiar with my work. And he like gestures to a shelf that has like a series of books kind of like sitting next to them. And it looks like nope, not that.
And 15 cardboard boxes of unsold books. So
Yeah. It looks, so he's got like books set up on the side, nicely kind of framed, and then there's other books around, but these are the ones that are obviously like the important ones, and he kind of gestures to them. Have you read Nightsea?
I can't say I have, and I'm open to you selling me on the concept.
Oh well, I may have a. No, probably not. First book, I mean, it's been years since it came out, so I don't think I actually have any advanced copies that I could hand you. But you could find it, pretty cheap at the local bookstore.
Did you write this series while you were here in the building?
Some of it, yeah. The last 2 volumes.
Interesting. Now, on May 31st and June 1st, did you notice anything odd in the building? Any unusual visitors? Anyone acting strangely or out of character?
When?
May 31st and June 1st.
I guess not. I don't really remember anything particular about those days at all, so probably not.
Very well. Does not remember. And Gaucher has like pulled out like a notepad and is very much writing like their notes, but it's very obviously in Russian.
I don't know that he's paying that much attention to what you're writing. He's kind of, mostly maintains eye contact with you, but then occasionally will just, like look around the room and then like spot something and then like go to tidy it up. Like, oh, there's some dirty dishes in the sink. Sorry for the mess. Let me, move it aside. And then we'll, focus back on what you're saying, but it's not really paying much attention to what you're writing.
Now, how long have you lived in this building?
That is a good question. let's say he's lived here 5 years.
5 years. Did not know Abigail right. And I'd like to circle back to Thomas, if you don't mind. Has he been well recently?
It seems to be.
No changes in mood or perspective? No signs of, say, any distress or anything distracting him?
Not that I've noticed. I mean, but I'll be honest, I spend most of my time here. I don't do a lot of socializing.
Understood. Very much. And they're writing. They underline something, and then they keep writing. So, just to recap, you weren't very closely related with Miss Wright. You do know Thomas, and you are on friendly terms, and he hasn't shown any differences lately. You've been a resident for 5 years, working as a novelist for your Nightsea series in the last 2 volumes, which started before then. And I suppose the question does bear asking, have you noticed anything strange lately? I understand you don't socialize much, but just about the building or the neighborhood in general?
No, everything's been fine. It's a very quiet neighborhood. Not much goes on. That's why I like it here. I'm the oldest. I'm the oldest tenant, but I'm the tenant who has lived here the longest.
Understood.
It's a nice gig. So I kind of get the feeling that they're hoping we will move out soon. They're got these empty apartments upstairs that no one's been in. And it's not. They don't seem to be trying to get anybody into them. But I don't know.
Do
It
you
could just
think
be there's
there'd
no artists that want to live in this neighborhood. It's a pretty sweet gig, though. We get reduced rates for, like subsidized for, being here doing our art. You got to apply for the grant and all that sort of thing. Art Life does a great job running the place.
Can you tell me more about this Art Life?
I don't know much about them. It's the company that that owns the building and supervises it, runs it. But they also do they're sort of like an art outreach company that like promotes art around the city. And then they have this deal where you can apply to be like an artist in residence sort of thing, except you don't have to produce work for them. It's just you live here and you do your thing, and the rent's subsidized, so it's not as expensive. It's difficult to be an artist in New York City.
No doubt. Well, I appreciate your time this morning, and I wish you good luck with your artistic pursuits, and I'll see if I can find some copies of your work. Give it a review.
Oh yeah, thanks. That'd be great. Any purchases goes to my royalties. Yeah. Good luck. Let me know if you have any more questions. I'll be here.
Will do. You be safe. And they'll leave, writing down more notes, cursing themselves because that felt minimally productive, but investigations often do, and it's off to the second floor.
Yeah. And just in your brief time in there, you notice that the room looks, the apartment looks fairly well lived in. It looks like he hasn't left in a while. Like I said, there's dirty dishes in the sink and kind of spilling over onto the counter. Places where there's this basket of dirty laundry, near the student. Everything is sort of like organized mess. So every little mess has its own location. So he's just sort of, and even his dress manner and mannerisms sort of the same sort of way. He's like a very neat, messy person. Every little mess is organized. Yeah, like he tries to be organized but tends to fail. And other than that, the place just looks, like I said, there's books. As obviously a writer would be. There's a little desk with a computer on it, a little printer next to it. Nothing that jumps out at you just in your brief time there.
They'll make their generalized notes and then move on to the second floor to begin not interrogations. Conversations there.
Conversation. All right, so let's jump over to Gourmet and Greeby real quick. You guys have been working for a little bit, and let's see, one of you, just grab a quick randomizer there. Mouse finds that I can't find. There it is. Could have lost my mouse pointer for a second. Going back and forth between two monitors will do that to you. You find, another page of what looks like a play. Would you like to read it, or shall I read it out loud?
I can read it.
No.
You want me to read it out loud, or?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, okay. Scene: the front foyer of the McAllister building. Present in the foyer are the encyclopedia salesman and the dog. Enter Arthur and Elaine Manuel through the front doors. Arthur and Elaine go over to the intercom panel and buzz Thomas Manuel's apartment. Encyclopedia salesman, he's not there. Arthur, excuse me? Encyclopedia salesman, I said he's not there. Arthur, you mean Thomas? Encyclopedia salesman, no, I mean Mr. Wilde. Of course I mean Thomas. Arthur, do you know where he is? Encyclopedia salesman, no, he doesn't live here anymore. Arthur and Elaine, what? Encyclopedia salesman, are you two fucking deaf? I said he does not live here anymore. Elaine, do you know? Encyclopedia salesman, no, I don't know where he went. What am I? His fucking girlfriend? I don't know where he is, but he doesn't live here anymore. Exit Arthur and Elaine. The dog barks. Encyclopedia salesman, you can say that shit again.
All right. I guess I should have shown to everyone first, and you could have read it more easily. But so you have another page of what seems to be play. As far as you can tell, paper's the same, but I mean it's just plain copy paper.
No page, no number page notations. Or anything?
No page number.
Okay.
Just what you see there, and obviously typewritten, not like inkjet print or laser print or something like that.
Right.
This, you can tell how a typewriter leaves the indentations in the paper.
Was she notating things that were happening here in the building? It almost seems.
Yeah, I mean it looks that way. The it references the scenes.
Yeah,
he's McAllister and
he's just speaking to Greeby to just like so it seems like maybe things was she observed. We don't know.
We don't know, and
Yeah.
there's the dog again.
But it sounds like relatives of this Thomas Manuel were here. Maybe his parents.
Parents would be my best guess, yeah.
And they were looking at an apartment that they were ringing for Manuel, but got somebody else.
It's unclear whether he responded through the buzzer, or if he was just like in the lobby or whatever, like walked like and was talking to them in person. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
It doesn't really specify.
Yeah, because it talks about pressing the button, but let me take a look at it again real quick.
yeah, I'd think that the implication was that they were all right there at the foyer, but
Yeah.
It is unclear.
but it is unclear the way
Probably
it's written.
shouldn't assume either
Well,
way.
Yeah, well, the encyclopedia says. I mean, I'm Grimshaw's not there, but the encyclopedia salesman says he's not there, so he's referencing another location.
Gotcha. Okay. So maybe they were speaking in person.
They were like in the foyer or something.
Okay.
He's
And
told him he
another-
doesn't live here anymore. But he very obviously still lives here.
Yeah. And another reference to the salesman.
And the dog.
And the dog.
Is the dog a corgi?
Huh.
Yeah. Anything?
Okay.
Any questions? Things you want to do with the new paper, or continue
Not
work?
yet.
Yeah, just put it with the other one.
The player has some knowledge that hasn't been told to them yet about who owns the building. So the player has some ideas, but I won't attempt to use that yet. So probably just continue to take things off the wall, because we were kind of working it from one location.
Mhm.
Just maybe just continue to take things off the wall.
Yeah.
Okay.
Search for anything
Yeah.
that looks
Yeah.
it stands out, I guess.
Then we will come back to you guys for a second
Okay.
discovery after we slipped to Grimshaw at the library. So you were looking for? Did you want to just check out a book on music, or did you want to do your research there?
I'll try and check out a book on music.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have a New York City library card?
Possibly. I mean, Grimshaw lives down. He's staying down at Fort Hamilton, which is it's in Brooklyn, so it's nearby.
Yeah. So
So if there's like a network, like a library network,
Mhm.
where your library card gives you access to all the libraries, then yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. They would have that, and there are several.
Yeah.
This is definitely one of the city library branches. And
Yeah.
there's branches all over the place. So, yeah. So you can just check it out. You can probably find 2 or 3 to the librarian. If you ask, will be like, oh sure, here, try this. For beginners. Here's one that you can check out a recorder with.
Do I have like a like a pen and paper, like a notebook, my own
Sure,
little notepad?
Anything like that you think that would be in your so I imagine each of you has like, this is my bag of stuff that I take with me when I go on an operation.
Yeah, great.
Anything that you think would be appropriate for that, have with it.
Yeah, I think rather than check it out, I think I will just try and find a page that talks you through the musical scale, just to get those
Sure.
notes.
Yeah.
That's it. So yeah, to look at the musical scale, what the notes are, what the different, like what's the difference between an octave and a quaver and a semiquaver and full and half notes and semitones and that kind of thing. So like real basic stuff. Because also the last thing Grimshaw wants is to have to check out a card with his legit library card that'll tie it to him and his identity.
Gotcha.
So,
yeah. All right. Yeah. So you take some notes, and you can get all that. So you can get the bass clef, where it starts and ends, and you get the treble clef, and you can try to match them up and try to see. Now, Mouse, you said you actually did some of that.
I tried. I was trying. Figure
wanna
that
share
out.
that?
I mean, yeah,
as
Alan Henry, like
Grimshaw's,
I can read
discovery?
sheet music, so I read it and I was like, oh yeah, I know what those notes are. But
Yeah.
Grimshaw doesn't know what those are, so Grimshaw's going to just note them down.
Right. Yeah. And no role needed to actually get the information that you're looking for.
Yeah.
Did
What? I
so
mean,
what was
I didn't get very far. I was just trying to put it in the chat here, but depending on which, whether it was treble or if it was
Treble or bass, yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Yeah.
But I was. That was just me trying to figure it out last week while something else was going on with somebody else. I think I was
Gotcha.
probably while Gaucher was interviewing Thomas. I was trying to.
So what's the bottom line like here? Is that A?
If it's treble clef, that's E.
That's E.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which
So
means that the first
C,
one is a
that's
C.
E, F, G.
Yeah, C,
Yeah,
C,
it's
E
coming
flat,
back.
G, B. Yeah. G to an F
If it's bass, then that bottom line is what?
is A. I think.
Okay.
AGFE.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. And it's each line
So there's-
is
GBDFA BC. Yeah, so it's GBDFA. So that would be E, if it was basically.
gotcha. And halfway between the lines is like this one. Is that a sharp / flat? No, because this is marked.
Nope. The B, yeah, the little B is a flat. That's just another note. So the lines are notes and the gaps are notes.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm just trying to remember how they.
Yeah.
How
So
it's noted. So-
if that's the treble clef, then E is that bottom that line. Then the space is F, and then the next line is G. Space.
That's
is A.
right. So it's not every line. It's
It's the line and the
space.
space.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there
thought
you go.
you were here
Everyone. That's our quick
A little bit of
introduction.
music theory.
So you guys can figure out what. And you said you were putting something in the chat, Mouse.
Yeah, I did, but I it might need to be. It might not be right.
Yeah, if I look.
I feel like I'm trying to say yo gabba gabba.
I don't see anything in the chat.
In the StreamYard chat?
Oh, the StreamYard chat. No, put it in the Roll20 chat so we can share it with the world.
I'm sorry. Okay, but I don't know if it's right.
I just did. I just shared it with the world.
Oh, there you go. Hey,
This is actually the
put it in
music
the,
phrase of instant insanity.
Yeah.
Have fun.
If you want stuff shared with the people, just tell me. I'll just put it in the thing.
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was right, so I didn't want
Well, I mean, that's what
to
it
think
is.
it's right.
Yeah, it's like, this is what Grimshaw would find. That if it's treble, it would be this sequence. If it's bass, it would be this sequence. So
Is this correct? What I had here? I don't know.
It's correct enough for us.
yeah, correct enough for that. We can figure out later if you want to. Yeah. So if that's E. So that would be,
yeah. If based on what I know of the triple clef, I wrote down what it would be.
Oh, okay, there you go. Yeah, share that then.
Which is again the same. I was like,
North would be for bass. Yeah, so you can try to make an anagram out of that, but it's a lot of B's and G's and F's, so probably not something that's going to be useful. Which I think
rolls
is the conclusion that Grimshaw comes to. That's probably a rabbit hole that isn't worth going down. Now, unless it's some sort of weird, language where it has implied vowels between consonants and things like that. But yeah, to you it doesn't mean anything.
Do any of us play any kind of musical instrument?
No.
No.
Nope.
Okay.
I enjoy cooking, but no musical
There you go.
instruments.
So do I.
Cooking musical instruments.
Baking a violin.
All right. Anything while you're at the library, is there anything else you want to look up, investigate?
No. I think that's all that Grimshaw was looking for.
Okay. Then let's go back to Greeby and Gourmet and see what their second find is. Gourmet will.
Yeah, I think Grimshaw's just headed back to the apartment now.
Yeah, so head on back. You'll be getting back, around lunchtime. Be like, cool, agents, go to your library. That's right. What do we get? Did it? So buried in the wall, not buried in the wall, but buried in the crap on the wall, you find a crude map of what is probably the McAllister building. It's not labeled McAllister building, but just looking at the layout seems about right. You got like the main entrance over. Oh, you can't see where I'm. They got like the main entrance over here,
Mm.
sort of hallway and stuff. So it looks like this is the a map of the McAllister building, just sort of like hand drawn by somebody, and then possibly thrown away because it's all wrinkled, and then like smoothed out and rescued by Mrs. Wright or Ms. Wright. Sorry, she wasn't married.
Night floors. What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to bring that back up? There you go.
Yeah, please.
Man with briefcase.
You guys, of course, have. Oh wait, if I show this to you, hang on a second. Let me do that. That's what I was about to do.
Ah,
Share it with you guys, and then you can actually open it yourself, and you on your screen it'll probably look
Yeah.
bigger.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little bigger.
Yeah. We can leave this up for the viewers, but this is what Gourmet and Greeby are looking at.
Night floors.
does that say
And it seems to be
dead
like
guy?
butcher paper or something.
The parlor.
If you guys are familiar with, I don't know if your
Stir.
characters would be familiar with butcher paper, but it's not thick enough to be that thick brown craft paper. It's more of a thin brown.
Man with briefcase and white shoes. Third floor. Door on 712. Almost looks like a date.
Roses and butter?
Yeah.
Does that say dead guy in a mask?
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
A dead guy. What I'm noticing is some of the it says apartment, and then there's X's for spots. I don't know.
Yeah, and you're standing in the apartment right now looking at this. If you kind of like orient the map, there's a closet right there where the X is in Abigail's apartment.
Unless that's just no, because I don't see. I don't know. Do all the apartments have an X? I don't.
No, not all of them.
No. So it's not like this is where a closet is. It's
But it does look like the X's are in closets or bathrooms.
Gourmet would like to just wander over to the, I guess, kind of following the map. Kind of go over to where that X would be.
Yeah, it's the closet right in front of you. So you walk over, open it up, and it's just a closet. About 2.5 feet square. Empty. Rod for hanging stuff on, and a couple of wire hangers, just kind of staying there. A little shelf on the top.
But could he? And the player lost his character sheet here. Let's see. somewhere in Roll20 here, because I'm trying to close the. I see what the problem is. User error. Let's go back
Happens all the
here.
time.
Classic picnic era.
Yeah. Oop. All right. I think I closed Roll20 again. So let me re-open it. What I wanted to do potentially was maybe just do like a spot hidden or something in the
Sure, I'll
closet.
open your character sheet and do that for you while you're getting Roll20 back up.
Please.
So you're just searching.
Yeah.
Can I help? Can I help him?
Anything particular you're looking for? Just stuff out of place.
Maybe like a panel or something that looks like maybe a door or a like a panel and the cut into the the wall or whatever.
Okay. You search around. There's no panels that appear to be on the wall. Up on the shelf, which is it's actually kind of deep and up, so you have to reach your hand up there. You find a receipt.
Okay.
Let me. It's It looks kind of like an older. She's sort of, the paper's kind of yellowed. It's dated July 3rd, 1995. From Abigail Laura Wright for $850, marked as for rent.
Okay.
And it says in the what do you call it?
Excuse me.
Memo.
The memo, yeah, 1 month's rent, apartment 10B. And there's a signature that I can't read,
Right.
so I guess you can do it.
And her apartment is 1A.
1A.
So why is she paying rent for apartment 1B?
10B.
10B. 10B. Okay. But we don't even know if that's the same building, though. It could be somewhere else. How long was she supposed to have lived here?
I don't know.
Anybody make out that signature?
I think it was a couple of years, but not terribly long.
Okay.
I think there's information in the police report. I'll check real quick. Oh, hang on. I forgot to share that with you guys.
Because that could be a receipt. Maybe she lived somewhere here before. Or that's a receipt from an old place, or again,
Right.
endless red herrings. So.
I do believe from the police report, though, that she would have been living here in July.
Okay. All right. So
Let's check the FBI case file. Moved to Manhattan in 1988. Been working artist and painter. First art show was in 94. Living on.
Well, she disappeared before July 1995.
All right. Yeah, she disappeared 1st of June 1995.
So let me go back and. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I don't know specifically when she moved into the building. Let's say it's been a couple years.
Okay.
Definitely long enough that the receipt wouldn't be for some place that she lived in before here.
Okay.
And as Mouse pointed out, it's dated for a time after she disappeared.
But it's for 10B. Oh boy.
I cannot make out that
Yeah.
signature.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. It could be. Your eye could fool you to think it's her signature. Going, okay, I think I see a W and kind of making it right, but
No, I don't think that's her signature. That wouldn't make sense. The person who would sign it would be the person who received it. Right?
You're
right?
right. You're right. Okay, never mind. That's saying I'm giving you the receipt for. Okay.
Yeah.
Damn it, we don't know who owns this building. Well, my character doesn't know who owns this building yet. I'm waiting for people to come back and tell me this because now I have plenty of ideas. So,
Well, then let's hustle over to Gaucher while you guys think about it.
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. So
Not to
when you
rush
come
you,
up to the second floor, you can go to the right, which would take you to 2A, or you can go to... Actually, going to the right would take you to 2A and 2B. One's across the hall from the other. So do you want 2A, which would be on your right, or 2B, which would be on your left?
We'll start 2A. Will be sequential.
Okay, doke. The mailbox from downstairs said this would be an L post. L dot post, P-O-S-T.
L post.
Let me move to post's page while you knock on the door. Where you at, post?
Any relation to Washington?
There we go. All right. Knocking on the door, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Knock, knock, knock. You don't get an answer at first. So you have to knock a second time, and then you'll hear someone come up to the door and be like, "Hello? What? Who's there?"
Hello, Mr. Post. I'm Agent Green from downstairs. I was wondering if I could ask you some questions.
You moved in downstairs?
No, I am investigating Miss Wright's disappearance.
Wait, well, I can hardly hear you. Hang on a sec. You hear like some locks throwing open. Comes and he opens it up. You said you were Agent what now?
I'm Agent Green. I'm an assistant for the FBI, and I'm investigating Mrs. Wright's disappearance. Pleasure to meet you. And they'll offer a handshake.
And he kind of like very awkwardly like goes to take your hand. Like this is someone who doesn't know how to shake hands, kind of wet fish, sort of. Thank you. ID?
They'll offer them the credentials that they were given.
Right, which is good enough for this guy who doesn't know anything about law enforcement. Okay. What do you need?
I was wondering if I could ask you some questions about Mrs. Wright and the building as a whole, if you have the time, of course.
Oh, yeah, sure. Looks around his apartment and looks kind of like chagrined, like he doesn't really want to take you in. And he starts to step and like close the door behind him and talk to you in the hallway. So unless you want to ask to be let in, that's what he's going to do.
They'll put a hand on the door, not forcefully, but they'll put a hand on the door. May I come in?
Oh, sure. Yeah, come on in.
Don't worry, I've seen plenty of messes. Nothing will surprise me nor make me think any less of you.
Right, and he just goes like pale when you mention that there's when you acknowledge that it's a mess.
There's no break, just casual politeness, what they might think is politeness.
Yeah, make a human intelligence check.
Yes. I have some points in that skill. Don't worry about it. I don't have enough points in that skill. Shh.
No.
Well, the good news is now you'll be getting more points at the end of the session.
I would like for us to acknowledge that we had both a 1 and a 99 in the same session, and I really think that encapsulates us pretty well.
Right, okay.
We really have had the extremes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are completely oblivious to this guy's being uncomfortable interacting with you. He just seems like he's a quiet guy. So I'll try to play it that way. But yeah, his apartment's a dump. It's like there's pizza boxes everywhere, empty paint containers, dirty clothing spread all over. Garbage is like sort of flowing out of the can under the sink and into the kitchen has been like kicked, like off to the side. It's pretty nasty. There are some, there's evidence of artwork. It looks like he does some sort of illustration, maybe.
They'll take a moment to look over the illustrations.
Yeah. So he'll kind of like stand next to you in case you want to ask questions about his stuff. But it's, you notice a few what look like novel covers, some that are obviously comic book covers. Some, he's got some framed stuff on the wall that looks like it's a bit older. Most of the newer stuff is unfinished, like halfway worked on and tossed to the side. He's got a one of those like tilt top drawing tables, where he's obviously working in the corner. It's slightly less messy than the rest of the house, but it's pretty scattered, and there's like spilled paint pots and markers sitting there with the tops left off, and some India ink that got knocked over and spilled, and it looks very unprofessional.
Well, of course it's unprofessional. We're dealing with artists after all.
So you had some questions?
Yes. Now, I understand that the police and the FBI may have questioned you before, and I apologize if there's any redundancy, but You understand the procedure. Just need to cover our bases.
Yeah. No problem. But yeah, I don't mind talking much.
They'll take out a notepad, flip to a new page, and start writing Russian again. And just for my records, Louis Post, correct?
Lewis.
Lewis, apologies. Now, Mr. Post, can you describe your profession and how long you've been in this building?
Oh, yeah, I'm an illustrator. I've been in here. 9 months?
And you are
10 months?
on
Something like that.
and you are on Art Life's grant, correct?
Right.
Very well. How well did you know Miss Abigail Wright from apartment 1A?
Not really well. I mean, we would sometimes chat about our art, our work, but not too much.
Very well. Did you... Apologies. Thomas Manuel. How well do you know him?
Not too well. I mean, I know he lives downstairs. He's a painter. We don't hang out a lot.
Very well. Can you describe to me if there were any unusual events or anything that caught your eye between the dates of May 31st and June 1st?
No. What happened on those days?
Those were the last days that Miss Wright was seen here at this building before she was reported missing.
Right. Oh. Really? Yeah, I guess that tracks. I don't know. I don't pay much attention to the calendar, really.
You lose yourself in your work, perhaps?
Yeah, something like that.
Very well. And have you noticed anything strange lately with the building? Any suspicious characters around? Any individuals or groups that are avoiding or paying more attention than normal?
Just you.
I suppose that is a fair answer. Now,
Oh, right. Sorry, you're supposed to be here. Sorry.
it's an honest answer, better than none. Now, may I ask about your work? How much of your work have you produced while here in the building?
Well, I'm just the work that I've done in the last 9 months. I mean, I've been doing art for illustration for years.
And if you're so comfortable, may I see some of the work you've produced since you moved in?
Sure. Right. Yeah. And then he'll take you like on a brief tour of the small apartment. These aren't very large. He's got
Do I
some,
know-
hung up on the wall, and he'll show you, like this was from, this particular book. This one was, this was a very successful comic book run. It's got like a Spider-Man cover, something that was, pretty
So
mainstream.
I want to try something, but I leave it up to handler to see if I have the appropriate skill level for it. I do
Okay,
have
convince me.
art. It is in journalism, but a 60 in art in any fashion would probably give you a baseline on some things.
Yeah.
Really, Gaucher's wanting to just know, is there a major or otherwise noticeable shift in his work from before and after he moved in?
You're not really sure about before and after. But there's certainly a shift like in recent stuff. So if you look at his half-finished work, it seems to be different somehow. You can't quite put a finger on how different, but you can definitely see like a trend, where he kind of like was doing consistent work and then things sort of something changed and fell apart. Like I said, you can't quite put your finger on what it is. If you want to try to make a roll on it at -20, You can
I'm
try
down
to
for that.
put a finger on it, and instead of using art, I guess human intelligence.
Because
That
that
would
has
be
gone
better.
very well. With minus 20, we'll be aiming for 20% lower. Let's give it a shot. What could go wrong?
Yeah.
Sadly, a failure, but you know, it was worth a shot.
Well, no, human. Oh, right. You didn't
Minus 20.
actually. Yeah, you would actually be at 20, not 40. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So you just can't put your finger on what it is about the more recent unfinished art looks different. But there's definitely, you get the feeling that it just makes you feel different somehow.
They'll point to the first one that starts to give them that feeling. When did you start this piece, if I may ask?
Maybe June.
It's interesting. Something about it is different. Have you been inspired by anything lately?
Honestly, I haven't really been that inspired. It's been hard to work.
Hard, how?
Well, just no ideas. And then when I do have ideas, they just sort of fizzle out.
Happens to the best of us. Well, Mr. Post, I do apologize for taking up so much of your time. If you recollect anything, our team is still working downstairs for most of the day for a regular 8-hour day. At any point, you may come and ask us anything or reveal anything that you may remember to us.
Um, sure, I guess.
And Gaucher will nod, offer him another handshake.
Which he kind of looks at like he's not sure what to do with it and takes the hand.
It was lovely meeting you, and I do hope your work improves.
Okay, thank you. You can leave now.
Very well, and they'll leave.
All right. He doesn't take you to the door. He leaves you to see yourself out. And that'll take you to about lunchtime. Do you want to gather back up with everyone? And let's assume that we've all collected back into the bottom floors, and I'll let you guys. Let's see, it's a 9:45. So why don't Gaucher and Grimshaw fill in what you found, and I'll sit back.
Yeah, so here's a copy of the blueprints for the building. Yeah, I got the musical scale thing here. Also, this weird note. I saw the rooms tonight at dusk.
Saw the rooms tonight at dusk.
Yeah.
The rooms. What rooms?
Well, I mean, looking at this scribble on the butcher's paper here, you've got these night floors, right? Maybe it's got something to do with that, like a certain time of day.
Going back to the note, I saw the rooms of floors. That's hotel stationery.
Yeah.
Might be.
I mean, I've been living in New York City for 9 years. Have I ever heard of this hotel?
No.
Huh.
It's different handwriting. Between the I saw the handwriting changes.
Does that handwriting match any of the handwriting on the back of the Polaroid?
Nope. Doesn't look like
Damn
it.
But I mean, yeah, like look at, and also if you just take out the words that have been scribbled on, right? Like it says, I saw dusk.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like there's everything's changing, right?
Yeah.
And Gaucher, you were talking to the writer, right? The novelist. He had a bunch of books.
He had a collection of works called Nightsea, but there's been something odd I've been noticing. So far, he has an entire collection of work, but out of that series, he's only written 2 of them in this building. One of the residents upstairs, Mr. Post, had a prolific amount of work, but has suffered since since this past June, around the same time that Miss Wright disappeared. And then Mr. Manuel has his greatest work that is still currently blank.
It's almost a form of writer's block. As if they're distracted.
A mass hysteria, a symptom of some common afflictment.
And I want to show them the map that we show on the butcher's paper, because it's interesting. You brought back the blueprints. Be like, we have blueprints of our own.
Well, I mean, and a lot of this makes sense with those pages from the play, right? So the parlor, that's in what, the 3rd floor, and that features everyone. I'm assuming everyone that lives in this apartment block, right? You got Thomas, you got Mark, you got, you got Abigail. Everyone's in there. So they say Abigail's gone, but it's Thomas, Mark, and Michelle, right? And they're here, according to this. Who's living in the apartment.
Who owns this building again?
It's currently owned by Art Life.
Art Life.
Yeah.
And they're the ones who are sponsoring the subsidizing the tenants.
Seems like.
They apparently offer subsidized rates for rents for any artist that makes it into their program. They don't even require that the art be licensed or branded with Art Life, that they just produce it. They've apparently been in operation here for some time, because the oldest resident of this building has been here for several years now. If there was something strange with the building itself, it should have manifested before then.
And we don't know if things we found in this apartment were done by Rachel. She could have found these elsewhere. Maybe she was putting together her own investigation upon these walls.
And it seems to have gone off the rails.
Yeah. Wonder if it wouldn't be, or it would be prudent rather, to do more research on this Art Life company. To see what kind of work they're currently sponsoring.
Yeah. Well, looking at these scribbles you got here, did you check out where all of these X's were that you said that's where you found the receipt?
And he'll take them over to the closet and say, "Yeah, I found this closet."
And is this the one that says roses and butter on the map? Is that where you looked?
I don't think we checked that one yet.
No, we didn't check that one. We were because Rachel's apartment's on the 1st floor, so we basically just used that as a guide.
Yeah, it looks like the roses and butter one would be the bedroom closet.
Okay.
All right, let's go check out. Let's go look at.
Yeah, let's have a look.
Let's go
Check that out.
Okay.
And it looks like there's also a closet out in the hallway that it's marking as well.
There is a closet, a small utility closet, looks like roughly in that spot.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Can I go over and take a look?
Well, yeah, I'll check out this roses and butter thing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a roses and butter closet. It's just another small closet. Just like every tiny apartment from the 20s.
Can we do a search on it though? Kind of tapping the walls and.
Yeah. You search around, and again, there's, just like the other closet, there's no secret panels that you can find. It looks like it's been completely emptied out, just like the rest of the apartment. It's pretty much, if it's not glued to the wall, it's bare. The receipt that you found is the only thing that you found in the apartment that wasn't a part of the wall.
Is the closet big enough?
Oh, I'm sorry. Except the 3 things that Gaucher found in the kitchen last time and put it on the floor to see if anyone had come. Which, by the way, worked. Nobody came in that you could tell, or no one disturbed your trap.
Is the closet big enough that someone could have sat in there, perhaps?
Yeah, it wouldn't be comfortable, but yeah, you could fit in there.
Okay. A small person could.
Yeah,
easily-
Grimshaw maybe not, but
Right.
Yeah, no way.
sure. Yeah.
Could fit half of me in here.
Just checking like the floor. Is it carpeted or just like hardwood or something? Or
It's in this area hardwood,
okay.
linoleum in the kitchen and the main
Yeah.
area.
He's just
There
kind of
might be one.
just checking the floor almost, and just kind of mumbles to himself. X marks the spot.
You want to have a look underneath?
Yeah.
All
Would
right.
we have would we have, I guess, some tools with us that we could
There are a few pry bars that were used to try to take some of the items off the wall, that got broken. At this point, I don't think you've been mostly dealing with things that like paper that easily comes off.
yeah.
So, but yeah, there are some Wonder Bars, a couple of those if you want to try to pull the floorboards up.
If we could find like a
Oh, yeah.
seam or something like that, you can get a crowbar in and just without having to actually like saw the floor open or anything like that.
Yeah,
So,
you could you could
Yeah.
pry up a couple of the floorboards in the closet specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grimshaw, I think this might be your department.
Huh. Okay. So yeah, hand me that bar there.
Yep.
Just go along.
How careful are you being? Do you care about destroying the floor or?
For now, yeah. I'm trying to be pretty careful with it. Like I've got like a Leatherman, right?
Mhm.
And I want to like pop open the blade on that to try and jimmy out the skirting board
Yeah.
to try and get the
Yeah.
pry bar between the wall and the floorboards. I'm trying to be methodical about it.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, not just like destroying the apartment, but being
No.
yeah, being careful. Okay, so you take about 5 minutes to carefully pull the thing open, and the board that's like up against the wall. There's a bit of a gap between it and the next board over, enough that you can see that there's a gap there, and you find underneath it looks like something that might have fallen through the crack at some point.
Mm-hmm.
You find what looks like an airline ticket.
Oh, hello. Well. Look at that.
Michael Whitmer.
Whitwer.
And
Okay.
From
Oh,
LA to Boston?
Just a sec. I'm going to share this with.
Yeah.
Keep forgetting to actually
That's
give you
okay.
guys access so you
Yeah.
can blow them up better.
So that would be
From what's that?
from maybe Vegas. I don't know.
Mm.
Or it could be LA to Boston. June 6th, 2015.
Oh,
Wait,
2015.
2015?
Hold on, 2015. What?
Yeah. That's what it says, 2015.
Well, hang on. Wait. This is obviously a fake, isn't it? Like 2015. What the hell was?
That doesn't make any sense.
Why would there be a flight ticket dated 20 years from now?
And hidden. I highly doubt this casually fell. But based on the map, I think someone purposely left these clues here.
I mean,
Going back to that receipt, what year did it say?
1995, July.
Yeah, that was 95.
Okay,
That,
okay,
again,
all right.
that is July, right? So
Okay,
that's-
all right.
Well,
Yeah, this
look,
is the only
we're
thing
gonna.
that's apparently from the future that you found.
Yeah. Okay.
Wait a
Well,
moment.
then, I mean, shall we try the rest of these marks on this this
Yeah.
map? Well,
Yeah.
are we going to have to get into other apartments to have a look?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we can
All
try
right.
to do the empty ones first if you want, but
That's probably a good start.
Yeah, the other one in this apartment, and then the one in the hallway, easy to get to.
Mhm. And then third floor, we don't know who's up there.
No one. Those apartments are all empty, aren't they?
Third floor is empty.
Allegedly.
Yeah, third floor's empty. Yeah.
Allegedly,
Yeah,
yeah.
apparently, yeah. I guess we'll find out.
So I'm noticing a pattern here.
This was roses and butter. This was okay.
When I talked to Manuel, he said that Miss Wright had gone to move to apartment 6A. Then we have. May I see that receipt that you found again?
Yeah, 10B.
10B. And now we have an airline ticket, and I'm choosing to ignore the date right now before my brain just completely starts to hurt. We have an airline ticket that says seat 9A. It seems as if it's leaving a trail. And if 10B is the farthest we've seen so far, is she leaving a trail of where she went?
I think so.
And if this place only goes to 3 floors, then the only other place she could have gone is to these night floors.
Gotcha. So there's something in that apartment that leads to the night floors,
Something that we can't see.
and we can't get to. And if someone saw the rooms at dusk, maybe it's like a nighttime thing.
Maybe we need to be there at dusk or be there at night. We haven't really investigated much at night. We've kind of knocked off in the evening.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You did go up on the roof at night, but it was post dusk.
Right. I see the rooms at dusk.
I saw the rooms at dusk. Yeah. Well, do we want to check out this closet in the hallway?
Yeah, while we're in this apartment. So yeah.
So you do that. You check the other closet in the apartment and the one out in the hallway. There's nothing under the floorboards there.
Okay. Checking the walls. Checking. Yeah.
Greeby's stomach growls.
Is anyone in this apartment listed as a musician?
Listed as what?
A musician.
Oh, you don't know.
Yeah, we haven't spoken to Michelle or to Mark.
Yeah.
We don't know what apartments they're in. I'm guessing one or the other is in 2B. What's that? M. Banfitz? That could be either Michelle or Mark.
If it was Mark from this play, it would be Mark Rourke. Assuming this is accurate, the only other person that's not mentioned is Michelle. Agent Greeby, have you eaten lunch yet?
I had coffee.
That is not sufficient.
We still have some donuts if you'd like one.
I also had some cigarettes.
I understand.
Caffeine and nicotine, all you need.
Yeah, that's all.
I understand our current situation. Please remember I am still part of the CDC. And what you just said pains me on a level like no other. Alright. Grimshaw.
Pains you more than that picture that Gourmet's been patting in his pocket over there?
Yes. Because this is the easiest thing to solve.
I mean, I'll go for one of them donuts. For
Want
sure.
me to eat a donut? O'Shea, I'll eat a donut. It'll make you feel better.
Yeah, have some sugar with your caffeine and nicotine.
Yeah.
I'm gonna eat 2.
Gourmet's actually gonna take the picture back out of his pocket and then just kind of slowly put it down like on the evidence pile and just kind of step back and look at it.
Yeah.
Oh,
I can quit anytime I want to.
Need to show that thing to somebody.
I did. I showed it to Grimshaw.
Greeby and Gaucher have this need. For you, it's just it's just a symbol now. It's just a mark.
Okay.
Same thing with Grimshaw. It's just that's that.
And that's another reason he wants to put it down, kind of in front of everyone. Like just puts it on top of the pile. Maybe straightens the pile a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Greeby and Gaucher have, an itch in the back of your head about showing that symbol to somebody.
We could go show it to Thomas.
Hmm?
We could go show it to Thomas.
We could and see if he recognizes it. But all three of you need to have something in your systems that is not just sugar or caffeine. I believe I saw a deli 10 minutes down the street. I will
Right?
pick
Yeah, I was
something
just
up.
going to say there's a deli on the way.
Agreed. Let's.
I will pick something up, take a rest. We have a meal, decompress, and we start our second shift.
All right. Well, that
That
sounds like a
sounds good
good
to me.
place to break for the day.
Okay.
Next time we can do the afternoon and figure out what you guys are going to do.
Got some, got
Do
some
you have
leads.
sort of an idea of what you're
Got a
going to
list
do?
of some leads we could follow if anyone
there's-
wants to add to it. I've got we could try to find this hotel brothel bin or whatever, and maybe like take a photo of Abigail over and see if they anyone there recognizes her. Or I still would like to get a look at, if I remember correctly, Abigail had artwork that was like on display somewhere,
She sold
like in a
artwork
gallery.
She sold
Yeah, I don't know
artwork
if
at a
that's
place
still
called
up,
Mercury.
but you can at least find the gallery that it was in and find out.
Yeah, see if we can find. If we can't find the actual artwork, at least maybe they would have photos of the artwork documented at the gallery that they,
And I'd like to do some research on ArtLight. Maybe find out like where they're based. Maybe find some information about, are they putting on certain performances in the city, plays, musicals. Just a little more about them to see what they're, kind of what they do. Besides, being the sponsor, do they actually, own a theater or something like that? So,
Yeah, I have a note here to research art life, maybe the architect, and maybe the original person who built the Londine or whatever, to see if there's any.
I almost think Gourmet is done with the walls. Like I think we're finding little pieces, but now I think we've got places and people now to, So
unfortunately, Gaucher is going to want to stay on the walls now since they had their shift to go out. And now it's their turn in the mines.
Absolutely fine. Absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Grimshaw has it like he has a map now, and he's going to be like, okay, I'm going to go to these empty apartments, see if I can get in and check out where these X's are.
So,
I'll take the pry bar.
Yeah, so we could almost switch next
Yeah,
time.
classic. Yeah, I got the skeleton key. Don't you worry.
Yeah.
Nothing keeping me out.
Don't worry, I have the master lock to open the master
Yeah,
lock.
exactly. Yeah,
No.
I got it. Don't you worry.
You could go through channels and try to get keys to the upstairs from Art Life, but
Yeah, I could. That
All
seems like it's going to
access
take a lot of
key.
time.
and then Manuel did mention a night manager that lets him use the basement.
Ah, yes, the night manager, of course.
Cool. All right then.
And then I also want to see if I can find copies of Night Sea, particularly the last 2 volumes, like at the library.
Night see. I see something at night.
And I kind of also just want to sit out and case the whole apartment, like just do some like some, because her specialty is intelligence work, right? So like just yeah, kind of
put
just
some of your little electronic surveillance things in.
yeah, kind of do.
That's a lot to do all in one afternoon. You might have to
Yeah, I know.
you want to do something like that. But that's cool. We can play through that.
Yeah.
So it sounds like the next session, some people will be doing research. Some people will still stay in the room and look for still looking for that stupid occult symbol that you haven't found yet.
That's gonna be very hard to find. Yeah. I
Oh wait,
mean,
the symbol on the paper that we want to show people isn't an occult symbol?
Not that anyone with a reasonable amount of occult recognized.
Yeah.
And Reevy's got an occult of 50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Does she really want to look at it?
Come and look at this, because when you see the occult symbol, you'll be like, "Oh yeah, that's an occult symbol." This one, you're like, "I don't know what that is," but it's interesting and it speaks to me, and I should share it with people.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Just people on the street, people at the deli.
No.
Pay for a Reuben with it.
I was just about to say, go get a Reuben. That's what you want.
Slip it in with the $1.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
sorry.
and
Can I give you that?
and I want a Snapple too. So
For those certified Snapple facts.
One of the
Yeah,
teas? One of the teas or one of the fruit ones?
Oh god, 95. There used to be this like apple something when I used to love.
Mhm. Yeah. Oh, and there was this orange
I always like the
flavored
tea.
drink you could get that had brominated vegetable oil in it, so it gave it sort of a weird mouthfeel, but it was like so soothing on the throat. What the hell was that called?
I don't know.
Orange mango?
Oh, and then they stopped making it. Heather and I were so disappointed that it was just like, can't find such and such anymore. That was perfect when you were sick, you know.
Snapple sponsor us. So
Yeah, yeah. That's good.
Listen,
Oh.
we're desperate. It's
Email.
okay.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Well, as we wrap up, does anyone have anything they want to mention coming up, tout, or otherwise say about themselves?
I'll go last. So
Yep. Okay. Looks like you're it.
Yeah, go for it.
okay. Again, thanks you everybody watching. We appreciate your support. Please be sure to give the video a like and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Next week we have 4 games going on. Monday night we are doing our 3rd part of our One Ring, the Star of the Mist. We're going to finish that up. Wednesday we are doing a 3rd part of our Dragonbane small series. Welcome to Salthaven. And then some Delta Green on Thursday night. And then Friday night, my friend Minty and I will be running a small vampire series, the first part. It is doing something a little different. It is going to be just a solo player. Kind of have a scenario that I thought of a couple years ago that I wanna run, and I thought of my friend Minty when I was thinking of people to torment. I mean, people to be in the game. So we're going to be doing that on Friday, May 2nd. It's called Forsaken.
Hey, is there a reason you mailed me a whole box of red flags?
Yeah.
There's like one at the bottom, but it's like covered in barbed wire, and I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
I guess I guess there's only one way to find
You need
out.
used gloves.
Yeah.
PPE,
So,
that's the lesson.
So lots coming up next week. Again, thank you for all your support, and I'll let our handler have the last word.
Yeah, thanks. It's been great. I hope that folks are enjoying this. I've been enjoying running it. I hope my players are having a good time. It's so fun sitting here and watching you go, "Ooh, I wonder if it could be such and such." And it's like, if they only knew. But also having you guys go in directions where it's like, I didn't expect that.
That's our job.
Yeah.
To go in a direction you did not expect.
So that's good. Yeah. So see you guys same time next week. And before leave, if anybody failed any rolls, we'll do the XP stuff once we get off the camera.
Okay, sounds good.
Good
All right,
night,
good night,
everyone.
everybody. Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. Go clean out your closet.